So how do you know your rabbit is pregnant? I keep getting this question a lot, so today we will discuss that topic into details. So if you are new, if you are already an existing subscriber, thank you. If you are new, subscribe to this channel and then let's roll. So let's get started right into the topic. One of the questions I get most as a rabbit farmer is, how do you know your rabbit is pregnant? I mean, how do you even keep the rabbit? How do you make sure that the female is pregnant? Okay, so getting a rabbit pregnant or knowing your rabbit is pregnant is very, very easy, right? The first thing to do is, okay, how we keep the rabbit in the cage system, the females are always separate. Are in a separate cage, the males are always in their separate cage. So if you want your rabbit to get pregnant, first thing you have to do is take the female into the male's cage. You can do it the other way around, but it's very dangerous. The females are very territorial, so you have to take the female into the male's cage so that he will mate with her. We call it crossing. Here in our part of the world, we call it crossing. I don't know if you also call it crossing, but we call it crossing. So the female will go into the male's cage, the male will climb here, and then he will have a fall off. So what I do in my farm is I do at least 3 fall offs to make sure the pregnancy has a very, very high successful rate, right? So when I take the female to the male's cage, I leave them and I stand there. I don't leave. I don't just go away and then don't see what happens. You have to stand there and make sure the male fall off like this, like what you are seeing on your screen right now. When the male falls off, and then you wait, let's say they'll go again. They just don't. In 30 seconds or 1 minute, he will go again. So if your male is very active, your female is on heat or she's ready to mate, then it will take you less than 5 minutes to get these 3 fall-offs. Sometimes it takes more, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes you get frustrated, especially the new families, they get frustrated. Like my female has agreed, or she has raised her back for the male to cross her once and he's not doing again. Even once can get her pregnant, but the chances are very low. But if he falls off more than once, then the chances increases, right? So after the falling off, let's say 3 times, you take the female back to her own cage where she's already in. You leave her there, just feed her well. And then how do you know the pregnancy is successful? Okay, so after the 3 fall-offs, you observe the female. After some few days, her behavior will start changing. Yes, sometimes their behavior changes. It changes. If she's a very calm rabbit, sometimes she'll become aggressive or very active. If she's an active rabbit, sometimes you see that she will become very calm. She will not be too aggressive or too active. As you already know, you have to study your rabbit to know how she is. Okay, so after that, another sign you can check is the feeding pattern, right? She might feed lesser than you already know she feeds, or she might feed more than. So if you know your rabbit consumes, let's say example 120 grams of feed a day, then if she's pregnant, she might be consuming, let's say, less than 120 or more than 120. In most times it's more than 120 because she has to get more energy to feed what is going inside her. Yes. Another way to know if your rabbit is pregnant is when, after the first mating, and you want to make sure the mating has been successful, let's say after 2 days, you can take the female back to the male's cage. If he tries to mate with her, if he tries to cross her, you see that she will be refusing. She will be reluctant to do it. She wouldn't want to do anything. She will be running away or she'll make herself in a round form, and then he can't have access to her. She'll do whatever she can to prevent it. So if the rabbit is very, let's say, she agrees on the first time, you see that she's very cooperative. She gives in, she wants the male to do it, and he does it, and then just the next day or the next 2 days she's refusing, then there's a very very high possibility, about 95% chance that she's pregnant. So that sign is very strong. So when the mating, the 3 follow-ups happen, then you take her off. So after 2 days you bring her back, and she's not agreeing anymore. She's very aggressive. She doesn't want the male to touch her or something like that. You know that, okay, there's a very high possibility that the first time the pregnancy was successful. Some rabbits also make noise, some kind of sound when they are pregnant. If you want to touch them or if you take them back to the male cage, they will make some kind of sound, or they will make some kind of noise, like they will be grunting or something. It's also a sign of pregnancy, but I fully don't believe in that. I don't know, but it works for some. When they start doing the sound, you know that. As some of them, they are just lazy, they don't want to cross it, they don't want to mate, so they start making that sound, and then you leave them alone. So yeah, another way to find out if your rabbit is pregnant is by palpating. Palpating happens, let's say, 12 to 14 days or more. After 12 days or 14 days, if you are an expert and you know how to palpate, this is how we palpate, right? If you know how to palpate, you will get to know if she's pregnant. If you take 2, let's say 3 fingers like this, then you put it under her belly, rub it up and down like this to make sure you are seeing something. You feel some small bubbles, some small, it's very small, it's very tiny. Sometimes you might not feel it as early as 14 days, but if you're experienced, you might feel it. But around 20 days of pregnancy, when I say around 20 days, because when she's pregnant, you have to write down the dates. The day you put her in and the person has been successful, or the mating has been successful, you have to put down the dates, right? So if you put down the dates, then after 15 days, 20 days, and you do this palpating, you might feel some balls inside her or something. If you feel it, then it's very possible that she's pregnant, right? And then if your rabbit is pregnant, if you observe your rabbit and then maybe you don't, if at the 28th day of pregnancy you have to put in a nesting box. This is what we call a nesting box, a small box that you put inside the rabbit cage, and then the rabbit will go inside cage herself. She'll pull off her fur, like you are saying. She'll pull it with her mouth and then pull off and expose her breast, right? And then she'll put it inside the nesting box. If she has hay or grass around, she'll pack it and add it to the fur, right? You don't do that, she will do it herself. So you just have to observe her, let her do her thing, or you just leave her. Make sure your only work you as a farmer have to do is she's in a clean environment, the nesting box is okay, you feed her very well, the water is always clean, you are done as a farmer. That's just what you have to do. So if you do all these 4 things, leave her, she'll take care of herself. So she will pull off her fur. It normally starts around the 28th day when she pulls off the fur, and then use it as a bedding for the babies. So when the babies finally come, the kids, we call it kids, they finally come around the 30th day. They normally come around that time, 30th, 31st, or even 33, or sometimes it takes up to 35 days for them to deliver. Okay, so when they come, you realize, when you come as a farmer, you realize sometimes you not see the babies. She will give birth, and then she will cover them with the fur she removed, and then that's when you see some movement, or you open the fur, you see that there are babies there. So that means your rabbit has successfully given birth. So these are the signs that will make you know your rabbit has been successfully mated or successfully pregnant.